From the bayous in Louisiana to the timber country up north, you'll find them out on the trap line, chasing furs to put up on the board, mixing up another batch of that magical stuff, chilling around the fire after the show. Hey, it's Sarah and Jeff, and maybe a guest on the Trappin' Radio 2.0.
Welcome to Trappin' Radio. This week we are at trapping camp. So we're sitting out here on a beautiful screened-in front porch. It was a beautiful day. Actually, the mosquitoes were out. I was skinning beaver this evening, and the mosquitoes were out. But we're just watching the sunset here on the porch, and we're all on rocking chairs at trapping camp. So that'll kind of be our show tonight, is just a roundtable discussion, just kind of recapping the past couple weeks here at trapping camp. So I guess we'll thank our sponsor real quick and get that out of the way. F&T for Harvesters, everything you need for trapping, hunting with hounds, and predator calling. And then we have Funke Trap Tags, and we actually have Alan here with us tonight. So Alan, you want to talk a little bit about what you got going on, website, what you have, summers, spring and then summer, you've got some new products in?
A little bit of new product. We'll be back doing more of our fishing stuff again this summer, as always. Looks like here in the future we're going to have some Razorback Snares coming in, so try to get them all up and posted here when we get to stock and availability. Other than that, pretty much the same thing.
Everything you need for trapping, just about.
You
Yes.
bet.
And fishing.
And fishing. And calling.
Yes,
And snaring. All the things.
all above.
FunkyTrapTags.com, right?
Trap tags, yes.
FunkyTrapTags.com. All right.
I've never ever said it right one time. I say Funky Outdoors. I say Hilltop Trap Tags. I've went all over.
All
But I
over
said
the
he's in
map.
Guthrie Center, and if you Google Funky and Trapping Supplies, you will get him.
Yeah.
You'll get handsome Alan.
Yep.
One or the other.
So now that we got our sponsors, we'll tell everybody who's here. There's me, Sarah, as you heard, Alan Sayer, or as I like to call him, Alan Sayers, because he's so great that he's plural. And we got Carl and Liz from Razorback Snares. And we're down here on a job with Carl, and we've had quite a few different people, come through and stay this 2 weeks we've been here. Jeff Haggerty's been down. Tim Roper, he's on YouTube as Meat Trapper. We call him Meat Tenderizer, so that's why
So you had to stop.
I was trying to think of it as a YouTube name because it's not Meat Tenderizer.
No.
So, but Tim was down, and he was on the show last week with me and Jeff Haggerty, and Tim said that discussed that he had cancer. Well, he said he had cancer, but he didn't want to go into it on the show. But he's not here now, so the thing I want to say about it is everybody could learn a lesson from Meat Tenderizer. He has such a positive outlook. He says you just got to be tough to get through this, and he said going through this for the rest of his life, and he has such a positive attitude, and he said it changed your whole outlook, and it's too bad that the rest of us have to go through our life not with the attitude he has, So I think we all could, especially me, learn a valuable lesson. maybe it'd be best not to wait until, you have cancer or something like that you have to, have a better outlook on life.
Yeah. And I'm going to jump in here. I mean, he's been a good friend to Liz and I over the years. He's come here to this camp quite a few times, and just his positive mental attitude is inspiring. I mean, he looked better this year than he did last year, and I mean, he said, by God, I'm going to beat this damn thing. And I'm just hats off to him. He looked great. He jumps in a kayak in the morning and paddles, 3.4 miles?
Yes.
And runs beaver stuff that we can't get to by land. Does some hog snaring, caught some critters here, and just a great guy. We love having him in trapping camp. And if anything about it, he's 100% positive. He told me personally he's going to beat this, and if anybody could, Tim's going to be the man to beat it. So hats off to him. We love having him here, and look forward to seeing him again next year.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah, a lot of fun to be around. Very intelligent, super smart, and just a great guy to hang out with.
And he's the only person I ever seen drunk, when he was drunk, argue with his own videos on YouTube.
Well, now I resemble that remark now.
That was one of the craziest things I ever saw. You got that big, 50, 60 inch TV, he's playing his video, and he's like, and then arguing with himself. And then he stopped it. I'm like, I'd never seen that before.
You're right.
No.
So instantly he scared the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
But no, we wish you well, Tim.
Yes,
Yes.
very, very much so.
Keep being the meat tenderizer out there.
Amen.
Yes. We also had Dustin Crow with Crow Heating and Air.
Electric.
Is it Heating and Air or
Electric company.
Electric Company? Excuse me.
Yeah.
He's from the Little Rock area, and he came, and he's just a young, spunky thing, and he'll jump right in and just take off running and
Yeah.
get so much accomplished. He's been a huge help to us as well.
Yeah, and let me speak on Dustin here if I can. I mean, Dustin's daddy and of course, I grew up with his mom and dad, and his dad left us way too early, passed away, and Dustin, what is he, 30?
He's 33 now.
33, just a super young man, driven, just a great young man, and he helps me. I've been battling gout in my feet, and he come over here. He's been here, twice?
Yes.
And coming back a
And
third
coming back.
time. He's busy, working his business, but just a super nice young man, good ethics, good morals. His mom and daddy would be so proud of him. But he's just a huge, huge help to me. I mean, he jumps out of the buggy and checks stuff and helps me and digging in the dirt. And he's one of them running gunners. I mean, when he jumps out of the buggy, he is absolutely running and
Full throttle.
Yeah, he is full of energy and shed hunting and just a great young man. We love him to death, and your mom and daddy be so proud of you, Dustin, and we're glad to have you part of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he had probably the second most exciting hog of the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, he did.
And that was at the closing bell, too.
Yeah.
He was fixing to leave town, and he was driving down one of the side roads through the woods, and he stopped his buggy. He heard something, I believe.
Well, he seen the hog
He
laying
saw
there.
it.
And Alan, jump in there, Alan, with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just setting a trap, and he was telling me goodbye, and he went on up, and he said, I'm going to take a left on the road up here ahead of you. And he turned the corner, and I set another trap, and it wasn't just 10 seconds. I started hearing gunfire, and then it quit, and And there was some more, and then it quit, and I took off and went flying up there, as I was pretty sure he wasn't after armadillo. And yeah, he got him a really nice hog. It was just out there sleeping, and he happened to drive up on it.
Shot it with a 22, didn't you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Unloaded,
Yeah.
unloaded with a 22, I think.
250-pound hog with a great big tusk.
Oh, it was huge.
He said he unloaded like 30 shots at it.
Yeah, he was definitely excited and pumped up with that.
Because I was up there skinning beaver, and he pulled up, and he said, "Did you hear me shooting?" And I'm like, "No." And he said, "This is what I got," and he showed me the head, and I'm like, I thought I cut it off one of the other ones that we, already got, and I said, "That one looks like it's got fresh meat, like it's almost like still moving." And he's like, "Yeah, I just cut the head off of it," and I'm like, "Holy shit!" So he started telling me the tale, and I'm like, I'm just looking at him like, and then he was talking about, I could just imagine him, he's got his AR-22, just like a machine gun going off, and then he said I ran out of bullets on that, and I grabbed my pistol with a silencer, and I just started shooting, and he said, "I don't think Alan heard them ones."
That was still going on when I pulled up.
But no, he's a good guy. He fixed our trailer for us last year, and we'd had major problems without Dustin, and he's getting into trapping. And last year when we were here, he was getting all gung ho about the trapping, and he kept, can I buy some trapping stuff off you guys? And
Yeah, y'all sold him stuff right out of the trailer that wasn't even for sale.
yeah, it wasn't for sale, but we thought, well, he'll want to buy like one trap and one stand. What did he end up buying? Like $1,000 worth of
Over
stuff?
$1,000 worth of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, he told me when he left yesterday that he wants me to leave him probably at least 5 dozen dog proofs when I leave. When he's coming back, he's bringing money. He wants at least 5 dozen dog proofs. And so yeah, he's going to add to his collection.
Yes.
For a young man that's not been trapping but just a few years, his daddy was the same way. His daddy was a great hunter and fisherman. He and I hunted and all over the country, fished quite a bit together. Dustin, for not, trapping for just a few years, he's a great outdoorsman and has picked up on it really well. And he's wanting to learn. He's eager. He's driven and just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and just a huge help to us here. So he's going to come over next year. Alan, you're probably not going to be here because you'll be in Mexico, correct? This coming year, and Alan has been doing the coon and the possum, the nest predator stuff, and just kicking butt on that. So Dustin probably trying to step in there and help you or fill your shoes on that. So, but he'd be the man to do it.
Yes, he would.
Yes, I agree with that. Big shoes to fill, but I'm sure he's going to come close.
Yeah, he'll do well with it. He's a quick learner, and we're looking forward to having him over here all he can.
Yep.
And we each have our own, I guess, not really specialties, but our own like areas that we tend to focus on. Like someone will focus on the possum and the raccoons, and then someone will focus on the coyotes, someone will focus on the beaver and the otter, and so we all blend and mesh well.
Well, and this year we kind of done it a little bit different. A couple years ago we were kind of overlapping with each other, and that kind of messed us up. So this year, Jeff Dunlap and Haggerty worked on beaver and otter, and Miss Sarah was right there with them. And of course, she loves to do the coyote stuff, so we kind of turned her loose on some coyote. But Jeff kind of stuck to the beaver and the otter. Alan does the nest predator. He's kicking butt with that. Liz and I kind of worked on the hogs and the coyotes. We're struggling on the coyotes this year here with all the rain and mud. But yeah, we got a system down. we didn't have but 1 or 2 overlaps on the whole trip. So, yeah, I think it's been working great.
Yeah, and Sarah helped us a lot on the coyotes.
Absolutely.
And then we cut loose. Sarah and I.
Yeah,
cut
that was so
loose.
Yeah.
fun.
We had
We got a trop together.
Yes,
Yeah.
we had girl power going on.
Yeah. Y'all
Yeah.
tell us about that there. We just kind of turned y'all loose yesterday, and y'all took over, didn't you?
We did.
We did, yeah.
We
yeah.
were going for several hours, and
Well, it had been raining it rained a good solid day and a half, and there was a
At
ton of
least.
rain, and there was one field that we hadn't got set yet before the rain, and that big field. So
yeah.
we went down there and we found some coyote tracks, and we just unloaded the buggy. We set, I don't know, 8 or 9 different sets out there.
Yeah.
I lost my trapping bag.
Oh gosh.
I had the
yes.
tailgate down, and usually somebody's behind following anyway. The tailgate was down, trapping bag fell out. Before,
No one behind us to tell us that the
Yeah.
trapping bag had fallen
so,
out.
we had to use Jeff's trapping bag, and I told Liz, I said, use caution because Jeff is
You don't know
not-
what's in it.
Now,
Jeff
you're being nice now. That wasn't what you said earlier.
we had to use caution because you never know. But
But we made it happen
yeah,
though.
we did.
We had
Yeah,
a good time.
Y'all did good today.
And we saw some coyote sign, and we set on that cat sign, and we were so excited. We were pumped on this one set, this one area, because we had a trap that was on land that we had set, and it had been sitting there several days and hadn't gotten anything in it. And so then we did a step down set.
Well, it got Carl in it.
Yeah.
It got Carl in
And
it.
it almost
tell
caught
me.
me, and it almost caught Hager.
That's true. That's true.
Every day we'd go check this spot, and it was more of like a blind set, flat set with just a little tuft.
Yes.
It was blended in pretty darn good.
We had it set really well. And
Yeah.
we kept warning the guys
Every day.
don't step on this.
Jeff thought, oh my gosh, there might be a snake there. We scared everybody away from this set every time anybody got close.
And so it didn't catch anything for several days. And then, anyway, we finally made contact with a bobcat. So it was the one and only. And
Yeah, well, we saw every year. Carl says, a lot of times I've seen tracks out on this. Was that culvert pipe?
Yeah, it's
Like
a culvert that sticks way out above the water, and the coyotes and the bobcats just walk out there to the end of it, overlooking a grassy lake. And you can see the muddy tracks, and we seen that yesterday.
Yep.
And
Yep.
y'all took it away from
So
there.
then Carl says, before you guys quit, there's tracks on that culvert. Go figure
check
out
it out.
something.
Yeah.
And so me and Liz went over there, and we said we're bound. We were determined. We were going to catch
Oh my
a cat.
gosh, we got creative.
It was just the two of us out there, and we was doing some crazy things. Liz did the step down set. I already had the set up there. I freshened all that up. I even used Hellfire on the set because I had Jeff's trapping bag.
Imagine that.
So I remember
Imagine.
because I put the Hellfire on first, and then we had to smell it the whole time we were doing all this.
Yeah.
But you put the step down set in. You did a great job. Had that all blended in.
Yep.
I said I don't think that's enough. I think we got to do more.
So we put a cat snare in, one of our Razorback cat snares.
Yeah.
And we put one of those in, and then
Yeah.
we put.
We built. Well, go ahead.
We got creative at
Yep.
the end of the pipe.
We did. We put Liz. I says, well, we need to put this lure on there. I said, how are we going to get this lure to, really hold out there? And she says, give me some mud. I'm like, okay, that's random.
Well, I packed the mud in, I guess, oblong blob, and then I put a little hole in it, and that's where I put all the lure.
On the end of the
On the
culvert,
end of the culvert,
overhanging
to get
the
'em to
water.
go out
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would hold the lure.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we made contact.
Y'all had a big old male tomcat this morning.
Yeah.
Pretty cat for here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a coyote right down the
Yes.
road,
Yep.
just with
It was at 50 yards.
yep.
Yes. And then I'm
But we-
hoping,
But we turned the corner and the coyote was there.
We were
And
jumping
then-
up and
then
down.
Carl says, "Is that a cat out there in the road?" And I'm like, "You got to be shitting me." They did catch a guy. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like,
Yeah.
"That is a cat."
and we just jumped up and down and we
Yeah,
hugged
we
each
were
other.
hugging,
And
high fives.
I didn't even get in the side by side with Sarah. I said, "Just take Liz and go down to the cat. I'll walk." They were screaming all the way down there.
we were so excited. I'm hoping that we make contact tomorrow with some of our coyote traps
Yeah.
that we set, because I think that they were
Well,
really good.
we
traps.
finally got dry dirt and dry fields, and I mean, for the first week or better, it's been sloppy, raining. I mean, when we first got here, it'd been raining for 2 days. We're digging in mud, so
And it hadn't rained probably 4 months before
No.
that.
no,
No.
been a dirt bowl.
No.
I mean,
Yeah, the water's so low here. It's like, we caught quite a few beaver, and I'm surprised at the amount of beaver we caught.
You have to get
for-
creative
yeah,
right now
for
because
what it's been, yes.
it's like 3 feet or so that
Oh, at
down.
least that, yeah.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, the beaver's just not here like they have been. Of course, the last couple of years, I mean, what was it? Not last year, but the year before, y'all caught like 53
Yeah.
off this property, and last year we was in the low 40s, and I don't know what we are this year, but it's up bumping on 30. So I mean, but the beaver are just not here. I mean, the water's not here.
No.
Some of the lakes and the sloughs and everything's all dried up. So
But we have caught more hogs this year, and that's exciting to, I think, all of us. And last year I think we caught 1, 2, 3 hogs. And
no, it was. Yeah, we caught 4 last year,
Was it
but
4?
but the land managers were trapping really hard. They start pre-baiting before we get here. We generally start this thing right after duck season, after all the hunters are left. And but the land managers started pre-baiting and using the net trap and their cage traps, etc. And last year they caught, it was 100, high 20, almost 130 in the 2 weeks we were here last year. Now this year, talking to them before we came, they were talking like the hogs were not here, like it has been in the past there, but they started doing their pre-baiting, etc., what have you, and but they've not caught the hogs like they have in years past. But we're seeing a bunch of hogs
there's everywhere.
on the trails, yeah, and they come and go. Won't y'all talk about that, how they show up, and
We should have Jeff talk about his and
yeah.
Haggerty's
Let's start with
experience.
that.
Yeah, start
That's
there.
a good one to start with.
Well, there's only been 3 animals that I ever was around where they didn't want to get away from you. They actually wanted to hurt you. And one was a bobcat, an old tom. The other was a rattlesnake down in Texas, and then the hog that me and Haggerty caught. Those were the 3 that they wanted to kill you. They had no fear, and we went and set this spot up, and it was on the right on the corner edge of a field, and it went down into some like a cattail swamp, and we set it up, and Haggerty went and Jeff went and he put in some bobcat snares and right by the hog snares, and so we go down in there, nothing, and then Liz and Sarah come down there, and Liz was walking down there, and Haggerty caught her by the foot in the 650, and he told her he was going to dispatch her. She goes, "Are you going to use the catch-all?" And I said, "Yeah, we would, but we think you'd like it too much, so we know we're not going to." You don't get rewarded for stepping in our traps.
No. You had to come let me out of the trap.
So we went back there the next day, and we walked down in there, and I told Jeff, I says, "I think I hear something," and it kind of sounded like a bear breaking the branch, just coming through, like the woods. And he says, "Oh, you're just screwing with me." I says, "No, with these hogs." I said, "I ain't gonna screw with you." I says, "I honestly heard something." And so he said, "All right, I'm gonna go into stealth mode." And so he starts stealth moding down through there with his pistol. And we get down there and we look, and there this hog is. And we had the hog snare set up, so one coming down into where we went past, and then the other one was set up where the hog was. So we get down in there, and I'm kind of lagging behind because I'm trying to run the camera and keep up with Haggerty, and he like marches right out there like like he's storming the beach, and gets way ahead of me. So then I'm trying to catch up. And then the camera went around. Anyways, that hogs went all the way, hit the end of this was charging him, and Jeff didn't move. And he waited. He didn't want to shoot in the head because he wanted the skull, so he was waiting for a body shot. And the hog turned. The cable snapped him back, and he shot him once, and the hog ran to the other side of the catch circle, and the cable stopped him again, and then that hog went again and charged him again and hit the end of the cable and turned again, and then he shot him I think it was 2 more times, and then the hog fell down there and started moving, kind of rolling, and I think he gave him one more, and then I might have shot a few times.
But he had broke the
snare. The second time he broke the snare, so we didn't know it, but
he was loose.
But he was loose. So if that hadn't have pulled him back. Anyway, so we got it dispatched, and I don't know how is that hog? 200 some pounds?
No, easy 200 if not a little more. Yeah, easy.
But so we start looking, and we're like, wow, look at that bobcat snare. He got hooked up in that, and he must have. I said, he must chew that off. I didn't know, and so we're looking at it, and we're like, holy shit! There's the hog snare. He was in the bobcat snare. I had him right around the nose, and when he hit the second time, or would have been the third time, twice. The second time charging Haggerty. It snapped and broke right off of him, and he was never in the hog snare at all. So we're like, oh my God, we got really lucky on this deal.
Yeah.
Me and Haggerty's been lucky before on stuff, but not quite that lucky. But
you called me right after, and I knew you guys were scared, and I told Carl, I said, they're scared. They're shook up. It was bad.
Yeah,
and
we got more shook up after we seen that it was the bobcat snare. Mm-hmm. Because they're not designed for for the hogs. Mm-hmm. And,
definitely, totally different cable.
Yep.
Yeah, that's little old bitty 564. So, that was actually one of y'all's fitness snares that Liz had built for you to carry to Texas, and of course, y'all found a bobcat toilet in there and set it up, kind of guarding that hog. Of course, there was tons of hog sign in there, but they were just going everywhere through that reed grass around that lake, and y'all just got lucky and caught that one hog in there. And I mean, the video, if you've not seen it, you've got it on your page, correct?
It's on Dunlap Lures page on Facebook.
Oh,
and J3 Outdoors on Facebook. And
it's awesome.
Yeah, I think the title is Hog Wild, and it's a 15-minute video. It's the whole thing.
It's a whole thing going in, and you'll see when we discover, that it was the bobcat snare. I mean, it's just as it happened.
Yeah.
I didn't put the phone down the whole time.
No, it's awesome footage. I mean, y'all did good with him, and it's great footage.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
Then there was a follow-up video you did after that showing the hog and this and that and the other, and it was pretty obvious on that video you guys were still a little rattled,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Oh, you could hear it in her voice.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Haggerty was talking 90 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Them hogs get you
They
heart
do.
rate up a little bit
They
now.
do, because, I mean, he was, I mean, there wasn't like he was like running in Haggerty's direction. He was looking right at Jeff and was hitting that as hard as he could to try and kill him.
try to get
that
to
was a full-blown charge, and he jumped up in the air towards Hag, and the cable caught him and spun him around. That's when he broke the cable, and Jeff shot him, but the hog didn't even know he was free at that point.
No.
No,
I mean, that could have got serious quick.
You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also went and Sarah and I set several hog snares, and we caught a hog, and we caught 2 more hogs on drags, and we couldn't find them immediately. We haven't located one of them, but one of them was located about 1.5 miles away.
Yep. Yeah, it was on that drag, and you know, there was nothing to anchor to, so you know, me and Alan, we were setting that, and I set the snare, and Alan hooked up the drag, and well, you guys found it a couple days later, but
yeah,
it
Dustin
took off.
actually found it. The
Yeah.
first one we found, it only went 30, 40 yards into the timber and got himself hung up, but this one we couldn't find, and Dustin happened to see it when they were driving by it a day or two later, and it just went clear across an open field and got back into the timber and got hung up. But yeah, it was, I don't know how it went that far.
I was getting
you
ready to
snared
say,
that one, didn't you, Sarah?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That was fun.
yeah.
Well, when we first got here, last year was my first year here, and you know, Jeff kind of gave me the lowdown on kind of what it's like here, and then we get here and we had a hog in the snare, and Carl is very very laid back, very polite, and you know, likes to have a good time, and is everybody okay, and what do you need?
Yeah, very accommodating.
And then when there's a hog caught, Carl goes into a completely
Very serious
different
mode.
Carl. He is in serious
Killer
mode.
Carl.
He is in protector mode. He's
Well, very
like,
protective.
everybody stay in your buggy. We're not, you know, you can snap a picture quickly, but we're not taking any time. This is serious. And Alan always has the big gun. And Carl tells Alan, okay, you have my back. Stay right here with me.
And Carl,
Are you ready?
Carl has
And-
his pistol ready to go.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is serious. And then, you know, that's just observing it. And then me and Liz, we had snared this itty bitty little tiny hog. It was tiny. And me and her were there, and that little thing charged us and wanted to eat us alive. I'll never forget it. It's this itty bitty, teeny tiny hog.
Vicious.
And I said to Jeff, these animals are born to kill. That's how they're born. And
Yes.
that's when I learned, like, no matter the size of that hog, they will eat you.
They'll cut the shit out of you with them tusks.
Yes. And Carl had come up on one last year on the 4-wheeler. We had set a snare right inside the wood line, and it was a real narrow road, muddy road, I might add. But he was on the 4-wheeler, and he pulled up to it first. And he was like, well, let me just check this snare. And all of a sudden, the hog lunges.
Yeah, well, I pulled up and seen the snare was gone, and I was looking around, and I mean, it's thick. I mean, it's just a wall of cover,
Yeah.
and he's laying there, and that's the scary part.
None of us seen him.
No, and you're within 5 feet of them before they bust out, and that was a big boar.
They blend right in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very much.
And they don't move. They're
Well,
just
like
so
that one
still.
that me and Jeff got, he was standing up and he had that cable pulled back as far as he could, and his ass was away from the tree it was hooked to, and he had his head up and trying to hook it with his cutters, you know.
Yeah.
And he was an impressive son of a gun. I will give him that.
Yeah.
it adds a new dimension from. I mean, I know everybody gets jacked up on snaring a coyote or what have you, or catching another animal. But when you start putting a 200 to 250 pound hog in a snare, and you have to wade in with him on the thicket, it's different.
It's definitely different.
Yeah,
I agree on that.
that's fun.
We caught one the other day. Alan caught one, and that was a big boar.
Huge.
Huge.
Big old black razorback, just giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like snaring the hogs. I mean, to me, that's fun. It adds a little bit of excitement. And but that being said, you need to kind of. It's good to have a group of people there. And of course, Alan brought a 350 Legend this year, the AR platform, and Jeff. When y'all had y'all's encounter, he's shooting a 10 millimeter. I carry a 9 with me, and you need something a little bit bigger for the hogs. I mean,
I carry a 22 purple pistol.
And I've got a 40.
Yeah. It's like Haggerty's shooting at this hog, and boom, boom, and I'm like,
pew, pew, pow, pow.
I feel like a badass with a coon or a beaver, but
They probably ricocheted off of it.
They're a lot of fun.
I will say the last shot, when we figured he was dead, was when I shot. So I don't know if I killed him or not, but
Well,
you
it
could draw your own conclusion.
It
But if
depends on
he
who
quit
you talk
breathing when
to.
I shot, I would have to say. No, it's like Jeff Haggerty. I'll tell you one thing. I mean, he ain't got no backup in him. I mean, he just stood right there. I mean, you see on that video, he wasn't moving.
No. No.
And if he had the hog would have probably got him.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to stand his ground and,
Yeah.
stay straight on with him.
I was standing
You
my
can't outrun
ground,
him.
but it was behind the tree.
I'm with you, Jeff, on that. No, Hag waited in there on that
Well,
sucker.
he was trusting your
Hog snare
Your
that
hog
wasn't,
snare.
wasn't
Yeah.
him.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't know he was trusted your bobcat snare.
He was like, he's in that hog snare he's going to hold, and
Well, I got confidence in that, but that little old 564 cat snare, no. Especially the size that Jeff and Jeff caught, I mean, no. I
it did
wouldn't.
hold him for a while.
Well, it
It
held
did.
him because they done it well. They had it hooked up to a tree that had a lot of flex.
Yes.
And that's the secret with the hogs is to put him on a sapling, something that's got some give and some flex. If you hook him up solid, you fix him be in trouble because he's going to either break your snare. And most of the times when these hogs get caught, they'll fight it for a little bit. And then there's, we pull up, a lot of times if you can get to him before you see him, from a distance, he's laying there asleep. But when you pull up on him, it's a rodeo then. And that's when he's going to break his snare, he's going to charge, and that's when you're going to run into trouble.
But you still don't know the situation. I mean, everything, it could be, like that hog that we came up over the bank, that really big one that Haggerty shot again, where he pulled the tree root out. Mm-hmm. So he had pulled the root out of one sapling, and
That
he
it was
was
actually
just,
anchored to.
Yeah.
It happened to be twisted on another one,
Yeah,
luckily.
he just went
Yes.
a round and a half, another sapling, and if he would have went a round and a half the other way,
He'd been gone.
he would have
would've
been
been
gone,
gone.
or right at us.
Yeah.
You can't waste any time. Like
No.
like I was saying earlier, when we pull up to a
You
hog
need
and
to
a
have
snare,
your pistols out.
it's right now we kill. Take
Yeah.
care of this animal because
Yeah,
you don't know the situation.
There's not walking in and taking pictures, kneeling down beside a cow on hogs. No, you're not going to do that. Yeah.
'Cause it-
A lot of the people out there that aren't trappers and stuff, they look at that and you put up the video and they're like, why don't you leave the hogs alone? Why don't you? I mean, they don't realize the destruction these things do. I mean, it's like we don't have hogs up in northern Michigan, for the most part, but so if I didn't come down here and see it myself, I mean, I wouldn't say,
know.
it looks, some of them look like they had a battle out there and was, shooting mortars at each other, know, and,
Well, farmers.
it's crazy.
Farmers, they are farmers, one of the farmers' worst enemies, I think, because they just destroy crops.
Well, the
Overnight.
destruction.
Yes,
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah. And y'all shot some video last year, I think Sarah did, of a patch here. I mean, it looked like carpet bombing going off in
Yeah.
the field there, and these food plots. It just, if people were to see the destruction that they do, and I mean, it's just.
If them hogs showed up in their front yard and
Oh,
tore
yeah.
their lawn all up, they'd
Yeah,
have a fit.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they'd be screaming for somebody to come help.
Definitely.
But I mean, trying to, the landowners have the pins, and those are, successful.
Yes.
And when we go out with the snares, I mean, to try to pin these animals down. I mean, you think this is a great trail, and you put up the snares, and that's the spot, and you can't count on that because they may not.
Well,
They'll just go right around you, and in a couple days, they've got a whole new trail that is out of the middle of nowhere.
Well, overnight.
Yeah.
They'll have a totally different
They-
trail.
It's like, or the whole, what's it called? The whole group, a sounder?
Sounder.
It'll move to a different area.
Yes.
And then it'll be fresh hog sign, and you're all excited, and you set all that up. And then next thing you know, they're in a
They're
different pot.
moving
I mean,
somewhere else.
they're so sporadic.
Carl,
But-
do you feel that, like you said, like the sounder is ran by the
Lead sound.
lead sow, which is a
Yeah.
female,
Yeah.
and the board just kind of comes in and out. Do you think that like them changing trails and getting getting really confusing? Do you feel that that's because a woman pig is leading the group?
Boy, you tried to suck
You're
me in there.
you're
on that
trying to get him in trouble, aren't you? Well, and
I got to wash my buddy here now.
the guys that do the pin trapping, these hogs that we get are actually the ones that don't commit to the bigger traps.
Yeah.
They get weary of them.
Yeah. Now,
So-
these hogs are spooky, and like Sarah said, and just a minute ago, I mean, you'll set up a smoking hot hog trail, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, they got another trail 20 yards away where they're skirting you. They're kind of sensitive, but then, you go 4 or 5 days, and boom, you're going to connect on the trail that they're just sporadic. It's, I ain't figured out yet, and I've been snaring hogs for a long, long time, and it's just a guessing game. But it's a tough deal.
It's a challenge.
Well, yeah, and that's what I like about it. But,
Challenge accepted.
But yeah, there's no guarantees in it, and the thing that makes hog snaring hard, I mean, unlike a cow in the fall, you're dealing with pretty much one size critter. Well, the hogs have babies and sounders groups. I mean, you might have a 2-pound piglet or a 200-pound sow, 150-pound sow, whatever, and then you got the big boars in and out. That's the challenge of snaring the hog. So it's we're still learning. I mean, it's we're learning every year with them, but we're having fun with them. They are a ton of fun to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys from up north come down south and go beaver trapping or go out, coyote trapping, but they don't go out of state generally, trying to snare hogs. That, if they, realized how exciting it was, you get a lot of the northern guys on, winter trips, going.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that because, I mean, y'all been down here, you and Haggerty snared y'all's first hog, 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
Yeah, that was a big old boar, and it's just fun, man. I mean,
Up until the last hog we just got, we had, if every hog we caught was dead,
yeah,
because it was one hog and he was dead.
yeah.
You haven't encountered the live feisty one.
Yeah, now we're at 50% of they're dead. 'Cause now me and Haggerty's got 2 under our belts.
But 5 or 6 of them we've caught so far this last couple weeks have been live.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get him wrapped up. I mean, just like anything else, you get him wrapped up in entanglement, and you got him around the neck. A lot of times they'll expire. But to deal with some of these big bores, I mean, even running, a 12-inch loop like we can legally do here in the state we're in, I mean, the hog is so big and his ears stick up off his head. I mean, the snare hits him on the top of his head, and I mean, you catch a lot of them around the snout, around the nose, because the loop's not big enough. So, we just got to deal with the laws and restrictions of the state we're in. If I could, I'd run a dead-gum 20-inch loop with the hogs. We can't do that here. So a lot of them, unless he tangles up, a lot of them's going to be alive, and that's where it really gets exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one we got was like bellowing and making all kinds of noise.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was mad.
He was pissed off.
Yeah, he would come to hurt y'all too.
Yeah, he needed to get on some sort of meds to calm him down.
All in all, though, it's exciting. We love very much what all of us does. I'm speaking for all of y'all. I'm speaking for myself mainly. I love doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Absolutely. And then we go from this job to, we get to go to another job, and then after that another one. So
Yeah, and Jeff and Sarah head to Texas.
yes,
We're hoping they do well down there.
absolutely.
Yeah,
They're gonna have fun.
big beautiful bobcats down there, and
Big beautiful snakes.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We got enough firepower to kill half the snakes in Texas. If
We all
seen
know
them.
how Sarah loves the snakes.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen one. We didn't see a snake here till the last day of last year, so we'll see what
We'll
happens.
stay in the buggy tomorrow.
Yeah. If it stays warm like it is, you liable to see one next day or two. I mean, Liz and I were sitting today, and she's down there doing some beaver stuff and what have you, and around all them cattail reeds there. I said, you better watch yourself and just kind of keep an eye out. So
Well, I'm interrupting you, but last year we were finishing up the job, and I had to go down in the ditch and across a beaver dam
Yep.
to pull a coyote snare. And he said before I ventured out that way, just be wary of your surroundings and watch for snakes, because
Yep.
the snakes are out. Just be careful. I walked right across that beaver dam, was in the process of pulling up our snare, and I heard, oh, blankety blank, pow, pow.
yeah, you'd walked right over him.
I had walked.
Big old cottonmouth,
Yes.
and Liz, he's laying right on top of the beaver dam. Liz stepped over him.
Never
I don't-
saw him.
Yep, I don't know how he didn't bite her. It was warm that evening, and I mean, of course, I looked down there before she ever walked down to cross the beaver dam, and next thing I know, I mean, I'm watching, and she's over there pulling the snare, and I look, and this big old cottonmouth crawls out, and I said, "Oh my God!" And she literally walked right over him. So
Yeah.
you got to kind of watch yourself here.
It's very easy to walk over them, walk around them, walk into them, especially when they blend in so well.
I know. I didn't know what they look like, so I brave myself and I look up on Google, what does a cottonmouth look like? So I could, if I saw one, maybe I'd have a little bit of an idea. I didn't know. It took a lot of guts to even look them up, and then we get down there. The last day we're pulling, and I had a really pretty light colored beaver on that dam just, over here, and
It was.
I was excited, so I go down there, and Jeff's going to do a video, and we're all ready, and it's just me and Jeff down there, and then Dustin comes down, and he's with his eagle eye. He says, oh, there's a cottonmouth just right there, and like
Just
it's
very
nothing.
casually.
I ran out of there so fast. Thank goodness I didn't push Jeff over. I just about did.
You
Up
could
the
hear
bank
him
I
screaming
went.
in the next state.
Yep, in the buggy. I didn't come out the rest of the day. It was over. And I still wouldn't. We didn't even. Jeff says, well, you want to go over there and set up that dam? Nope. Never going back. As pictured in my brain, I do not go back to places I have seen a snake. Because I don't know. It's like they're not going to. I don't know. In my mind, they're still there.
And here you are headed to Texas,
Texas.
with rattlesnakes
I know.
everywhere.
With the big rattlesnakes.
know.
You know, everything in Texas is bigger.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say I'm glad it's going to cool off the next couple days and not be another day or two of 70s because I'm not looking forward to that either.
No, sir.
No.
But no, it's definitely been a fun trip, and now we're driving 12 hours south of here into some real hot weather. It's supposed to be in the 80s down there, so I'm not looking forward to that.
No more sweatshirts, Sarah.
I know.
Sorry.
Yep.
I'll be in snake boots and shorts.
I know. I
That's
told
how I
Jeff,
know.
I said, I need a full bodysuit, a full snake bodysuit.
I would like to get you like a suit of armor and have you wear it out
That's
there.
right.
Well, trapping down there, the problem is, you get out in there and you get, if you did get bit, you got some ranch hands gonna administer the anti-venom because they keep, on a lot of them ranches, they'll keep it right there, so they administer the anti-venom. And, if you had to go to the hospital or something, they're gonna have to air flight you out of there, cause
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long way.
Yeah.
So it's just best to be careful. And generally, you're just in the clear area and you can see them and,
Yeah. Y'all gonna have fun down there.
You're going to have a blast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the video.
I figure we're gonna go through a shitload of bullets.
Yeah.
That's what I figure. we got a bunch of it. And we're gonna leave the casings in the lead and probably disconnected from each other in Texas.
Y'all are going to have fun. Get some beautiful cats. Beautiful animals, most definitely.
We still gotta buy our licenses for down there yet.
Yeah, they're a tad expensive.
$300, I think it was, a piece.
For non-resident
Yeah.
trapping license? Wow.
You can go if you're just working for the landowner as his representative, then go trap any nuisance animal, but we want to keep the cats and stuff, so we're gonna buy the license.
Yeah.
Licenses, because if we always,
Keep it legal.
keep it legal and don't want no problems. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
That's the
when
best way to do it.
You're best to do that at home, but when you're out of state, it's definitely the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Well, we've had a blast and
Yeah.
great company and definitely good food.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's been fun cooking for everybody.
Yeah.
We just had a beaver roast last night. That was good.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks to
that was
Sarah.
awesome.
Yep. Alan brought homegrown Iowa steaks one night.
Yes.
Killer.
Grass fed.
And
Walleye.
walleye.
Yeah.
Yes. I had never had walleye before. He
Thanks, Chris
brought
Walter.
This
Do
is
what?
probably the only time I've been out for 2 weeks running and doing all this stuff, physical activity, and probably gaining weight the whole time. These girls have cooked for us just incredibly all week, and
Yes, I have.
it's been a fun couple weeks. So I just want to say before we get off of here, it's been fun being with Jeff and Sarah, hanging out with them for a couple weeks and trapping, and all the camaraderie sitting around here visiting the evenings, and Haggerty, Dustin, most of all, Carl and Liz, Razorback Snares, thank you for the invitation.
You're more than welcome.
It's been
buddy.
Absolutely.
it's been a blast and greatly appreciated.
You're so welcome. We be lost without you here. You're the only man here to come here and crush my record on coons and possums, so
Possum
I kind of
King.
hold that against you, but the landowners are happy.
Yes.
You done an awesome job, and we appreciate everything you done for us, buddy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because they were bragging about, how the turkey population was better this
Yes.
year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, and that's why we're here. I mean, we're making a difference, and when your landowners call you and, start sending you pictures of all the turkey posts throughout the spring and the baby fawns and telling you that they're seeing all these extra deer, extra turkeys, and that makes it all worthwhile right there.
It does.
Yeah, puts a smile on my face, and with you guys here, I mean, y'all working on the beaver and otter, and Alan doing the nest predators, and I mean, it's just come together full circle, and we appreciate everything all of y'all do for us.
We got a
Very much.
good group of friends.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna head out to Mexican restaurant and get dinner.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe a margarita.
Yeah, and these margaritas are like in a gallon bucket.
You might have to carry Liz and I out tonight.
So if with your snares, where how can people reach you or contact you or?
Well, we don't have a website set up yet. I mean, we're just a small mom and pop operation here. Liz and I is doing this out of her home. The best thing we have a Facebook page called Razorback Snares. They can go to that and click in there, send us a messenger through Messenger. Our phone number's on our page there.
And our email address.
Yeah, they can text us, whatever they need to do. We're very prompt in getting back with you. And if
get you
anybody
fixed
needs
up.
some snare hookup, we got you. And all you got to do is contact us through that Facebook page. In the future, we're going to try to get a website loaded up and logo and all that stuff. But we're just not there yet. We're just a small, like I say, mom and pop operation.
Do you want to? We were talking about you guys are going to run a special where if somebody sends you a picture of that they have got tattooed a tramp stamp with Razorback Snares, they get 20% off their first order.
If somebody sends me a picture of a tramp stamp with Razorback Snares, I will make him a heck of an offer. How about that?
All right. Does that same hold true for Funkies?
Yeah. No. I don't have them yet.
So,
We're
anyways, I have said multiple times on there that, Alan is a good guy to buy from, because there's a lot of good people in the trapping industry, but there's some real shitheads out there too. But, if you want to buy off a good man, that if you were broke down, you were his friend, that you could call and he would come anywhere in the world to help you and never ask a question, never ask for a dime. If that's the kind of guy you want to buy off of, that you should buy off Alan.
Yeah.
Amen. I will second
Absolutely agree.
that. Yeah.
So
You're not talking about the call I got a year ago that
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about little Alan. Handsome Alan.
Correction.
get a
I
call.
ain't figured out which one's handsome or not yet.
The other Alan is handsome Alan.
I got a
Okay.
call on Thursday and he says, "Can you come and help me?" I said, "When do you need me to be there?" And he says, "Well, tomorrow if you can." So I hook on the trailer and 12 hours later, here I am.
Yep.
Wow.
The same thing when we bought Predator Control Group. We were at Clint's and said, "Hey, you doing anything?" "Yep, I'm,
Baling hay and
I'm baling hay
farming
and farming." I said, "Well, you want to come to Tennessee?" I'll see what I can do. Next call, he's on his way.
Yep.
So,
Those are good friends.
takes you got to be one to get one, Liz. Something to concentrate on.
Exactly. Thank you.
Liz is going to be going crazy here in a little while if she don't get a margarita, so we better close this up.
Wrap us up, brother.
All right. Well,
All right.
thanks everybody for tuning in, and we should have, if we have internet in Texas, we'll have a show next week in Texas. We'll try and get Albert, on there. basically me and Sarah will be doing the interview by herself. Because Albert isn't much of a talker. In fact, I didn't think Albert even could text.
Me and him been chatting it up on
him
text.
and Sarah been texting back and forth, but and Sarah asked him, "Well, is there an oven down there? Does the oven work?"
3 days later, he answers me and says, "Well, I turned it on this morning. It got hot, but I don't cook. I only heat and eat."
So y'all have no clue what you're walking into
No.
down
And
there.
I said, "What about a grill?" And he sends me a picture of a campfire, and he says, "This is all I found."
Oh my goodness. Y'all got your
He says
challenge.
it's first class, but that might be a teepee. I don't know. So
Y'all will have fun.
So, all right. Well, thanks for having us, and we'll
Thank you.
see. We'll talk to everybody next week. Thanks for tuning in.